Hello, hello, great people of the world. I hope everyone's doing fine out there. This is Zip coming to you with some more crypto discussions and taking a break. I hope everyone enjoyed the Super Bowl if you watched it last night. And it's actually halftime here. Watched a little bit of it, but it looks like the Eagles are ahead. So if you're an Eagles fan, you're happy right now. We'll see what happens by the end of the game. But again, my name is Zip. Welcome again back to the channel. Thank you for everyone that's been subscribing and all the likes and the comments as we try to grow a community that resonates together. So when we become millionaires from the crypto we're invested in, we can spend our times together on the most beautiful beaches of the world, or golf courses, or whatever you want to do when we hit it. But with that, let's jump straight into things. And we just can't seem to break away from some of the tribalism and stuff that's going on. And again, what I'm talking about is what came out from the Build on Stellar post yesterday, or February 8th. And it said, imagine spending more on lawyers than developers and calling it progress. Again, we don't know who put this out there, who controls this X post, but when it hit, it created another storm of controversy with the XRP community. We just came out of this with the BTC folks, and immediately folks came out and, counteracting against Stellar and bringing up a lot of old information and just a lot of vitriol. And, rightly so. Someone punches you, you generally are going to punch back. But Danelle Dixon did come out yesterday on Sunday and came out and said, progress is when no one has to pay a bunch of lawyers. Thanks to the teams that fought, we are finally seeing progress. Now let's build. Now, obviously, she knew what was going on. She came out and responded to that. And as far as I know, the post is still there. That was originally put up, that started all the controversy. But at the end of the day, we are all in this together. And it's the macro picture. Brad has tried to communicate that. And that's what I stay focused on. I am non-emotional. I'm not going to be punched around like a punching bag. But at the same time, I'm here and I'm invested in a lot of different utility coins, XRP being one of my favorite, but ISO 222 coins. But this vitriol, this back and forth negativeness, and I don't get it. I don't know if there's fear in there, if they're concerned, because what we're going to talk about here in a minute, Brad possibly, being part of that crypto advisory council at the White House, headed by the crypto czar, David Sachs. I don't know what the issue is, but I know it doesn't help the communities as a whole. So again, let's just onward and upward. So if you're an XLM holder, maybe you sold your bags because of this, but at the end of the day, that's up to you to decide how you invest. And again, I never give financial advice. We just talk about crypto. But now moving on to positive things and where we're going and what's going on. Brad G made it to the New York Post, and we see crypto might. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is said to be leading candidate to take a seat on President Trump Cryptocurrency Advisory Board. And he absolutely is. And we know that's been part of the conversation and what's been going on. And we'll just have to see what happens with that. But more of the conversation is what happens with Brad if that occurs. Is he's going to have to step down as the CEO of Ripple? We don't know. But coming out, Jeremy Hogan just had mentioned, with reports of Brad Garlinghouse's potential an adversary role circulating, concerns arose about whether he would be required to step down as Ripple's CEO. Jeremy basically stating the CEO's departure would depend on his employment agreement. And we don't know what that employment agreement is. But even if he did, I'm sure the board, if it's in his agreement, the board may make an exception for this, because we are in uncharted territory, uncharted times. And we know we love Brad as the lead there. And, would he make that decision to step into this advisory board and step down from Ripple? I don't know, but that's a decision to come, and we will see what goes on there. But interesting conversation, speculation, and just something to think about as we journey through this time together. Sean McBride, so as a previous Ripple executive, Ripple employee, worked at Amazon, I believe, as well. But he's always putting content out on X, and this is complete. It's speculation on my part, but or not even speculation. This is what he had put out there, but he says, I can't count how many NDAs related to crypto and AI I've signed in the last 3 months alone. What's going to happen over the next 4 years would have been delayed by a decade if not for the election of Donald Trump. And then, someone puts on here, blink if XRP is going to be running the show, and, the emoji with the blinking eyes. But absolutely, we know if our current administration had not been put into office, we probably would be getting the same as what we had for the last 4 years. And everything that is now coming out with the FDIC and them holding back the banks and the SEC holding back the crypto industry. So we are absolutely blessed and looking forward to, yes, the next 4 years and beyond. And again, I think the next 6 months, to year is actually going to be explosive for a lot of the reasons that we've talked about with the ETFs and everything else that's going on. But the next big event, next big time to think about, day, if you would, is March 10th. We know March 10th that FedWire goes live, and all banks are going to be using the ISO 222 system, are supposed to be using that system. Now, again, that is just a messaging system that the blockchains are able to utilize. And Blair Moon put this out, and this is a long post, and I'm not going to be able to go through all of it, but basically put out 27 of the 37 FedNow certified service providers are Ripple partners or are partnered with Ripple partners. FedNow aims to integrate 10,000 banks and institutions. Now, it is odd to think about how many banks Ripple is associated with. And those are the ones we know. Again, as Sean McBride had said, there's so many NDAs and non-disclosure agreements out there that we don't know the full picture of what is going on. But he puts in here, share this far and wide. If you're out on X, it's out on my X feed. I put it out today. But he goes in to talk about, now keep in mind, FedNow would never publicly list a company currently under lawsuit for securities sales such as Ripple is currently, even though they are winning the case, not until it's fully settled. And we know they're still going through that appeal with the SEC, and we're hoping it gets dropped, or if it has to make its way all the way through the courts, we know they're going to win in the end. And that's been some of the delay that we've had to go under. But in 2023, FedNow provided a list of 57 early adopter organizations, including financial institutions and service providers that have completed certification in the FedNow service. And now this has grown over to 142 providers and over 1,216 live participants, with the aim of reaching 10,000 banks and institutions under the ISO 222 standard. And he goes on through here and he lists all of the banks. And we'll go down here to the end and we'll pull those up and look at them. But there are a lot of them that are Ripple partners. Now, does that mean a flip of the switch moment? Nah, not necessarily. It just means that they are integrated and they may, at some given point in time, be using Ripple technology, which uses XRP in the back end, or will in the future. And again, it is a big deal. We just don't know how big of a deal it is and what it's going to do. But again, he says, remember now how Brad Garlinghouse said 95% of their business and partnerships were outside of the country. And we know that because they were forced outside of the country because they couldn't work within their own country because of the regulation, the SEC, and just the absolute holding back of the crypto industry. But with that, talking about hundreds and trillions of dollars that globally are going to be pushed through these banks as we flip the financial system. And here's a list of some of the banks. Again, ACI Worldwide, we know about for sure. BNY Mellon, we know about. All Finastra, all names that we have been talking about for years and years that are part of this environment and that are Ripple partners. So again, just be thinking about March 10th is coming, and that's the day FedWire goes live. Absolutely fun to think about what in the realm of possibility could happen. But with that, more XRP news. And this is information, but I want to provide a word of caution. Please do your own research. Always do your own research. I never jump into anything. And the reason for that is for those of you that were around when Celsius came out and some of the other DeFi capabilities that were out in 2021, 22 environment, you know, I did jump into Celsius and I thought it was going to be great. And it was great for a short period of time. But then many of us lost our asses, unfortunately, because Celsius was doing things that we were not aware of and was not just holding our crypto like they stated they were holding our crypto. And I'm not saying that this is of that same environment or that's going to happen and do the same thing, but I am saying always use caution. Make sure you are very comfortable with anything you get into. But with that, Doppler Finance is going to have a liquid staking XRP capability, and they're supposed to be launching this week at some time. And I've looked through the environment. We'll look at their website here in a minute. They don't have a lot out yet. They were a part of the XRP day, and they did speak there. But liquid staking, 1-for-1, you don't have to convert, you don't have to swap. There's no bridging. They say it's going to be basically XRP for XRPs, similar to like we have on some of the other chains. But that's supposed to be launching this week, so we'll keep our eye out for that. But here's the website, Doppler Finance. Again, they have a Discord. If you want to go out to the Discord, they have an X account. You go to click docs and stuff like that. I haven't been able to find any of the documentation on that. That is something you definitely want to do. You want to look at the white papers. You want to look at the documentation. But if this is as good as what they speculate it will be, then obviously I would definitely participate in this once I do my own research and I'm comfortable with it. But I'm just giving everyone a heads up now. If you're new to this environment, especially, be very, very careful, and due diligence will keep you from losing your bags like some of us went through years in the past. But an absolutely exciting capability to possibly stake your XRP and gain passive income back on it. We're all good. I love free money, and that's what I'm looking for all the time. But that's Doppler Finance. Everyone's in on the game, ladies and gentlemen, and tokenization is the name that they're spewing. So Matt Gaetz, a representative, I think from the state of Florida, basically made a post out there on X and said tokenization is going to overtake the U.S. economy. Cash is going to be the way of the beeper. I'm not suggesting in this post that this is a good or bad, but it's coming. And that's what we've been discussing for weeks and weeks, and we'll continue to discuss. Tokenization of real world assets are definitely coming. They're going to tokenize everything that they possibly can, which will pretty much be the whole world in the coming years. We know that Ondo is tokenizing USD treasuries, and their Ripple partners and HBAR partners and XLM we talked about. So tokenization is coming, and all of our government is focused, and they understand that as well. Funny enough, there's a post in here from someone says, you know, shitcoin scams hurt people, Bitcoin only. And again, that's the Bitcoin maxis out there. But Matt basically says, yeah, our Tether and USD shitcoins. Well, I don't know. That's up for you all to decide. I'm just talking about the tokenization and what's coming. But again, everyone is on board looking at that. We also have some interesting Cardano news out here. So we're going to listen to this video here in a minute. And basically, this is the Lionos upgrade to the Ouroboros consensus algorithm in the Cardano blockchain network. But they're always using Greek methodology and the the gods and stuff like that with a lot of their upgrades. So I may not have pronounced it right, but you get the point. You can read it as well. But let's listen to what this upgrade is going to do and what the speculation is here from the Director of Software Architecture, Nicholas Beery, says.
If everything goes well, we will have the fastest Nakamoto-style consensus in the blockchain industry and one of the fastest blockchain in the whole industry, Nakamoto and all the blockchain included. It means that for people developing application on Cardano, the transaction throughput won't be an issue that they will have to consider. If everything goes...
So again, stating that they're going to have the fastest blockchain in the whole industry. Pretty impressive. I am a Cardano holder again, and have been for a while. And I think there's big things coming for the Cardano community. We're under the governance structure now. And again, if you're a staker, make sure you did go back out and you looked at your staking to make sure you're still earning rewards, because you have to switch your staking and make sure that you have a DREP that is associated with your staking. But with that, this upgrade, again, if it goes well, they're going to be the fastest blockchain. So they are always working on something on Cardano, and I think we're going to see some price explosion as well as the altcoin bull run comes to us. And there's also been talk that they're working with Ripple as well. And that's the point. We want all of these chains to work together and utilize their strong points. I put that video out yesterday on Axelar. Again, that's going to be able to bridge XRP. And so it is bridgeable across multiple chains. That is the name of the game. But interesting news for Cardano. And if you're a Cardano holder, hopefully you knew about that. And if not, you do now. Now, this next little piece is really about being cautious. Again, I speak about scams and stuff all the time and making sure that you are safe out there. But, yay, Kanye West, whatever he goes by now, basically came out a few days ago and was talking about how he was promised millions and millions of dollars, basically people coming to him so that he could launch his own meme coin. And then basically it becomes a rug pull, and there's a whole post on it, and how he would stipulate that his X account was hacked after the meme coin project was rugged, that he was hacked and it wasn't his fault. But be very careful out there. And this is why I try to stick to utility coins. I don't jump in and out. And anything that really made me think of this is, and I'm not saying this is a pump and dump, but there's so many different folks out there creating their own meme coins. And I guess Dave Portnoy now has his own as well. So yeah, if you want to invest and you want to take that risk, that's on you. But just be careful, ladies and gentlemen. And that's part of why I have this channel, just to put out news and information to help us along this journey and make sure we all make it to the finish line. I want everyone to be safe. I want you to stay in a good mindset and don't get pulled into some fast money. Again, to create wealth is a delayed stratification game, and we're looking long term. You can get rich overnight, but you can also become poor overnight. So just keep that in mind as you're out there and you're looking at different projects. Be very, very safe. And this is mostly for the brand new folks, because I know what it feels like to see all of these different projects out there and all of the hype, and you FOMO in without a clear understanding of the underlying technology. But again, with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a fantastic week, and we will see you next time. We'll see what happens this week. A lot of exciting news still going on out there this week. Some things expected. We'll see if we get any SEC news or any ETF news. But if it comes out, you know, I'll be here. I'm working on some other videos as well. More deep dives, if you would, on some of the technologies that I like and things that have come out. But again, until next time, Zip is out.